Do you have some clutter that's so hard to clear that you would rather do anything but open the drawers or open the closet or go into the garage? There's anything else in the world that you would rather do than dare to confront it? If so, this one's for you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Claudat. I am a modern Feng Shui master and founder of the School of Intention, a radically new whole method of Feng Shui, free of superstition, free of limitations, full of infinite possibility, creative awakening, and your intention, because you are magic. And when you feel like you don't have your magic and you feel like you're not as effective, sometimes that just means there's some clutter in the way. And luckily, clutter can be cleared no matter how hard it seems. Clutter that's hard to clear is a very big topic, and there are so many reasons why clutter can build up. And I want to share a couple of them with you to let you know that you are not alone, and you are not a failure, and you are not in any way less than the super neat, organized person that you know, because literally, this is just part of life. And clutter tends to be a mirror of what's been going on. The first thing is that everything is energy. And I know you can roll your eyes when you hear that, but everything is energy, and everything has energy that can transform. Meaning that when we are in contact with something, like I'm in contact with this pillow, I might touch it all the time, I might lean on it, I might fluff it up, I might admire it all the time, and as I do, I become attached to it. And I know you could say it's just a pillow, it's just a pillow, it's just a dress, it's just a purse, it's just a thing, it's just shoes, but they're full of your energy. You're attached to them. And so the thought of, even if you need to let it go, even if you don't have room for it, or even if it's falling apart, oftentimes things are falling apart and you're like, no, I don't want to let this blanket go. You're attached to it. So you might not want to let it go. And this is one of the reasons why things can be really tough to let go of. One of the things that helps when you feel really attached to something, maybe irrationally you feel like you're attached to something, just don't judge yourself for it and see, one, can I repair it or refurbish it like I did with my favorite boots? I might have had them repaired 20 times when I had them until literally they fell apart. You might also want to see if you can repurpose. Maybe you make something into something else. Maybe you completely refinish something into something else completely, or you might need to let it go. And if you do actually need to let it go, one thing that can be really, really helpful is to really say goodbye to it. Like, thank it for its service in your life and say goodbye. It really does make a difference. It might sound really silly, but it really does make a difference. Now, I just want to point something out for everyone. I'm going to put this in big, bold letters. Do not force yourself to get rid of things you don't want to get rid of. Your clutter clearing process might take longer. That's fine. You're not holding yourself back from living your best life. You're honoring your feelings. A lot of times people feel guilt, shame, all kinds of things, and all kinds of negative things, again, about how messy they are, disorganized, or anything else, because they are attached to things and they don't just want to let them go. Give yourself time, and as you start growing and changing and making other changes and letting other things go, it's going to be easier and easier and easier to make these decisions. So don't force yourself to make them all at once. It's not necessary. Which brings me to the next thing, is that we have emotional attachments to stuff because it's sentimental. I don't believe in tossing sentimental things. That's who I am. I really believe in having personal archives if we can. I think it's amazing if you have things from your childhood. I think it's amazing if you have things from your kids' childhood. You just want to ask yourself, are you keeping everything or just the important things? You don't probably need every single memory that you've ever had. When it comes to these things, it's not about dumping them, it's about organizing them and storing them well so that you can access them, so you can go through them, so they're user-friendly, and maybe even you can have some on display, but you don't have to dump them. So be judicious. and keep all the things that you dearly love and that are a part of the archive. Now that you're more guilt-free about all these things that you're holding on to, maybe for sentimental reasons, let's talk about the guilt of buying things. Big one. One of the biggest reasons people tell me they can't let things go is because they spent so much money on them. And I've seen people do this in all different ways. You spend money on something and you feel guilty, and so you feel like you must hold on to it, but you don't even like it, and it's totally wrong. And maybe it was just something that was a lesson, and that's what I suggest you do with these things. Rather than forcing yourself to hold on to them, donate them, sell them, or repurpose them, but just take the lesson. Next time, before I buy something, I'm gonna really give some thought to it. I'm not gonna impulse buy. I'm gonna take more time. I'm gonna hold on to things. I'm gonna really be deliberate about it. I'm not just gonna go for everything. Makes a big difference. So that's a big one to keep in mind. You don't have to feel guilty. The second part of that is the scarcity one, which is I'm gonna hold on to everything because I might not have any of this again. And again, if it's sentimental things or it's really important stuff or art materials you might not ever find again, you're right. You might wanna hold on to it because you'll never find it again. But sometimes it's an excess of a lot of stuff, and maybe other people need that stuff. Maybe you could share it with other people. Maybe you can gift some things. So really think about this. Are you holding on to things because you're afraid you're not going to be able to possibly buy it again in the future? And if that's the case, ask yourself this question. Why am I putting such a negative on my ability to have abundance in my future? That's a question. And that's the reason why clearing clutter, this type of clutter, can be so life-changing. You start to realize, one, I'm gonna shop smartly in the future. I'm not gonna make these impulse buys or buy these things that are too extravagant that I really don't need or want. And two, I'm not going to hold on to things because I'm betting on the fact that I'm not going to have any money to repurchase it in the future. If I didn't need it for the last few years, chances are I probably won't need it moving forward, but someone probably does. So with that, let stuff go and you will open up to more abundance in all ways. The final reason that is common that people have a really hard time clearing clutter, even though they talk about it all the time. I'm gonna clear the garage. I'm gonna clear this closet. I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna redo this. I'm gonna redo the kitchen, cabinets, and pantry. And you keep saying it and saying it and saying it, and your friends are like, I've heard you say it a million times. And you're like, no, I really, really want to do it. One of the reasons why it doesn't get done is not because you're a failure. It's often because you are logically ready for change, but not emotionally ready for change. It's a weird thing. Sometimes we just need time to catch up with all the thoughts that we have, to really feel them, to feel ready to do these things. Because when you clear clutter, you're making massive changes. I made a whole video about how life changes when you clear clutter, all the benefits. I will link it here, I'll link it below. It's huge. And a lot of change at once can be stirring up a lot of energy, which is all good, but it's a lot of change. And sometimes we need to ease into change, especially in trying or tumultuous times. So you may have these big plans to do this stuff and you're not getting it done. And one thing I suggest in times like those is to really ease into clearing. So if you want to do your garage, maybe the first step you take is going into your garage and sweeping it. That's it. Or vacuuming. And then maybe the following week you take one little bit and clean something up and organize it and toss a few things and recycle. And maybe the next week you do one more little thing until you break through and you start to really emotionally catch up with this deep desire where you start getting momentum and things move forward. So give yourself that time. Clearing clutter can be hard for everyone. And if you have clutter, one of the things I suggest you do is start looking at it as an opportunity. It is an opportunity for massive, major change. Every client I have that has a lot of clutter, I'm like, yes, you're gonna have the biggest, most instant changes because you have so much that's so easy to see that we can really make a plan to eliminate right now. And when you do, your life is going to change dramatically. And every single time you do even the smallest bit, you're opening up to more and more and more fresh energy and all of the ridiculously amazing benefits that come along with letting it go. And on that note, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below, but also below you're going to find the link to the free Feng Shui video series for decluttering your home. And it also helps to declutter your life. And it's one of the most amazing things for creating fresh starts and welcoming in the new year. So you can find that below. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. It's time to create lots of clear space. I have a whole playlist full of videos that will help you to clear space and clear clutter and open up to the new. And I hope you enjoy it all. It's time to thrive. Thanks so much for being here, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.